from 17 once again, doing God's work as usual in the forest, in my farewell swan song to the housewives and gankers of old, because the patch has dropped, and you're not going to see as much of this, and if you do, it's going to be slightly tweaked because this shit doesn't work anymore. But this is, once again, another casualty of, you know, invading in the forest. Every so often you do get a guy who wants to fight, so I thought I'd keep this in. I've sped it up a little bit, as you can see, as it took quite some time, because I don't want to gank. As much as I'm using cheap and bullshitty tactics, I'm only trying to use them against people who are using them against others. And I know that sounds really self-righteous, and you can't really do that, but my judgment is all I have, people, so that's what I've been using. And this guy is using a washing pole, so I assume he's had a buff on it. He's also got a red body, so he knows how to customise his skin colour. Which means maybe he's invested some time. He's got Havel's gloves on, so he understands the foundations of poise. He's wearing the grass crest shield, so he gets the stamina regen. He's doing a lot of flipping. A lot of flipping. So I catch him with a combustion coming in, because the only problem with a katana user like this, who's being extremely evasive, is you wonder what the fuck are they doing? Because one of the biggest things katana users do is race against you to build bleed. That is one of the most successful strategies with a katana. Obviously, not a lot of people are going to do that too effectively, because it does involve quite a lot of spamming unless you're a good player. And if you spam, you generally get parried. This guy swapped out to a claymore, so he's using a pretty try-hard class. He's got two of perhaps the best weapons on the game when it comes to just ease of use and just general effectiveness in every situation. And he's playing really timid. Like, he might be new, I don't know, I can't really make excuses for him. I don't get this. Look, I'm telling him to fight. Dude, I've got a fucking rapier. What are you doing? Like, are you really that afraid of me? And I'm using a hornet, so if I do get you in one of those, you know, in shit like that, it's gonna hurt. So he's gonna wish he did more damage earlier, and he didn't. And if this is the guy I think it is, it might be actually. This guy runs away and spaces me with a bow for like the next 10 minutes, and yeah, this is it. Watch this shit. This guy just runs away in tier stone range. Like, why are you trying so hard? I don't get it. This is the forest. Go to the Berg if you want to be this fucking super pro player, but yeah, if this was any other series, people, this might have been a really interesting thing to watch, but we're not here for this. This is just, unfortunately, a side effect of, you know, a bunch of different systems coinciding. Like, I bow, but there's no honour or respect from my performance, because this is not an honour build. Like, I'm built to kill bad players. I'm not built to fight people who want to duel. And that guy was trying so hard, so I do apologise, dude, but I don't have the time for that in this session. You're not what I want, and I perhaps should have crystalled out, but I'm the dude that regardless I'll try and fight, because I'm invading, and that's the point. Like this here, watch this. This is two people in the forest not ganking. It's like, what the fuck has gone on here? Has the moons aligned? Are all the good players coming here to duel? Like, I was just thinking, what's crack? And this is another duel, and this is not a dueling character, so this is one of those matches where it's just, I feel like I want to send them a message apologising before the fight's even started, because there's no way I can beat these people by just poking, because it takes too long and I'm too impatient. So there's either going to be a parry or there's going to be a backstab, or combustion usage, which you just saw. Because look at this guy, he's got the cleric leggings on, he's got the Gwendolyn upper section, he's using pyromancies with the dust crown, he's got the wolf ring on, and he's fast rolling. So for all intents and purposes, this is a perfectly good player. This is somebody who's looking for PvP in the forest, and because he's hosting, and he's got a phantom with him to back him up just in case people try and gank him, which is a really cool idea, and it's a really legit thing to do, but I'm not looking for this. And the amount of times I got caught in these engagements is hilarious. And right there, he wings a parry, I punish him, and I win. And it's a Hornets, which is why I shrug, because it's like, what can I do? I can't bow. What's respectful about that? I'm using arguably one of the worst rings on the games for honour and for chivalry. But I think this might be a gank. We'll soon find out. We'll have to see. There's definitely a blue here, and he's being occupied by someone. That looks like a sunlight blade. So there's a buff user. But it's not a gank, it's just a dude. And it's... Jesus Christ, it's a guy spamming sunlight blade on, I believe, a claymore. Look at him go. So let's have a see what this blue does. So the blue's tanking him. He goes for the setup parry, but it looks like the guy didn't have enough stamina to do it. Oh, and he wings too many parries and he gets backstabbed for his trouble. That is the noise of death. And then he bows to me, so I bow back because I kind of feel obliged. And we'll see where this goes. So I know this guy's going to spam, and he just did. Goodness me, definitely spamming. I go for a parry, I get a partial. He's probably going to go for a backstab because he's seen me. Oh, maybe not. Look at that damage. That is not going to do that much damage anymore, guys, let me tell you. And this guy seems to think that the rolling attacks are the way to go when you're on low life, but it doesn't really matter, dude. When you're that low at life, you're probably going to get picked off unless you're really good, and you weren't too great, but at least you're not ganking, so I've got respect for you. This guy's either not aware, not at his pad. I punched the wall to tell him I'm here, and he's using a Marakumo. There's his grass, so full giants, Burger King mask, Marakumo, and Silver Knight Shield. It doesn't get much more housewife than this, guys. It really don't. And he's spamming R1 on the Marakumo, so he's clearly an extremely gifted player. Going a little bit for backstabs. I go for the setup parry, but I don't think I was close enough to it, and the Marakumo is easier to parry on the second hit than the third hit in my experience. He does the heavy attacks, winging it for phantom range. Doesn't quite work. I hit him with a combustion. That'll get me. Look at that. But this hurts more. And I'll probably chain him because I don't have time. Oh no. I do a wake up combustion. It doesn't work. And is he going to go for it? Oh yeah, no. He needs to be careful with the running attack on that weapon. You want to never do it when you're that close to an opponent. Always try and dead angle. But once again, I'm not looking for that kind of player. I'm looking for... Oh wow. I was going to upload this a couple days ago when I got it. And I was going to title it, This is Dark Souls PvP. Because this is hilarious. What this is, I am in a complete, hyper efficient, critical killing, completely cheap, merciless machine of death. That's what this build is set up at right now. I've invaded looking for gankers, and I've got a host who already has an invader. I fight the invader because the host shows no interest in it, and the invader is somebody looking for duels, effectively. He's using a setup you don't come across all that often. He's playing, decently. He's rolling, he's being, conservative, he's spacing, he's using his weapon as he should, and we have a really interesting little fight. I end up killing him with the Hornets, which makes me feel dirty all over, and I immediately regret it and think, oh, I should take off the Hornets because the host is probably a cool guy too. When it turns out the host is not a cool guy, the host is just like every other piece of trash in this forest. And there's the parry. I think that's the one-hit Hornet. I'll soon find out. I think that put him down. So sorry, dude. I wish we could have had a longer fight. That's why I shrug. It's not out of disrespect. It's just out of sheer futility. And watch this. I don't want the host to bow. I want him to come at me. And he immediately fishes the backstab. And what's he wearing, guys? He's wearing the Hornets ring. Look at that. Just look at that. That is brilliant. Dark Souls begins there. There's no words. There is no words. That is so good. So fucking good. But hopefully this will be a gank, or it'll be somebody wearing a housewife gear, because that's what we're hunting. We're hunting things that will be different after the patch. And I've played a little bit in the forest post-patch, and all I've ran into are hackers, which is extremely disheartening, because I can put up with gankers, I can put up with housewives, but hackers, beating hackers can be really difficult. So this is another guy in the forest looking to PvP. This is the strangest match I think I've ever had. So he bows, I shrug, because it's just like, come on dude, I'm looking for bitches, I'm not looking for honour. And he comes at me with a scythe. He's not wearing any uppers, so he's obviously rocking a pretty interesting build. And to look at the connection right now, you'd think it's okay, but did you see that? Either this guy's Neo, or he doesn't lift the scythe before he swings it. It's just immediately swung. Watch it when he attacks. Rolls into my fire. 395 damage. Look at it! It's immediate. It's like the 1-inch punch. It just comes down, and it's because of lag. And what happens here? Look at this. Look at this! And then the NPC turns up, and the NPC doesn't seem to know where he is. And it's just kind of like, is this ganking? It's like, what's happening here? I'm not looking for an honor duel, but there's an NPC. He's not killing the NPC. Well, that was weird. It just stopped the commentary for no reason. Thank you, computer. Thanks for that. So, I let these two people fight. And I said two people. I think that there's another invader. I think that's... Look, he just took damage off of thin air. It has to be another invader. There's no explanation for what's happening here. And I just can't see it. Because, look at the NPC. The NPC doesn't know what it's doing. Look at it. The moonwalking, the fucking backstepping. This is like the Jackson 5. And he's magically taking damage. What is going on? And the worst part about this fight is he can't even take care of an NPC. So I don't even know why we're fighting. Because if you can't do PvE, guys, PvP is just going to destroy you. And I know a lot of PvE players who aren't very good at PvE, but they still can deal with, you know, a couple of NPCs in the forest because they're not that hard. And this guy's making it look so much more difficult than it is. And he's attacking thin air. He's getting hit by thin air. What the fuck is happening? I mean, look at it. Look at it. What is going on? Invisible invaders, aliens, I don't know. You know, there's certainly no evidence that aliens weren't at Thanksgiving. It just makes no sense. And look, she's just standing there. He's flipping, and this is the type of shit you have to put up with when you're hunting gankers for a long period of time, because every so often something silly like this happens. And he's healing too. Oh, God. This guy's probably going to get chain stabbed. I'm not even kidding. And finally, he lands a parry. He's wearing a Hornets, and I shit him up thinking I'm going to stab him after the animation, but I don't. Mainly because I want to see if it's still lagging. And wow, he's going for that backstab, isn't he? What's happening? I can't even tell what's happening. It doesn't matter. Thank God. Thank God, dude. What the fuck? Where the hell is he from? That is just madness. Madness in the Forest 101. But, ooh, this guy sends me an angry message, and if you're wondering where all the rage mail is, I didn't get any. Believe it or not. But this guy got real mad. So he kills the invader, and then he runs off to the start. I don't know if he's looking to summon. I don't know what he's doing. There's a blue, so this is a possible gank situation. So instead of going for the invader, I attack some trees, because yes, I've released a lot of my restraints, but I refuse to gank. I just won't do it. And then Mr. Dragon Slayer Spear over here refuses to fight this guy. So we exchange a couple of shrugs, and I go and do it myself. And the dude stands on the steps. And if you don't know, but parrying on the steps can be a bit of an art form. A lot of the times it won't work. A lot of the times you'll miss the riposte. There's a whole host of different issues. And he's using a flamberge, or a flamberge, or whatever you want to call it. And it should be just the standard greatsword setup parry like that. But it didn't work. So I'm kind of in that spot where I'm like, well, this is not going to work, so I need to go for the backstab. And he builds bleed on me. So you think, well, he's winning now, surely he's going to follow me off the damn stairs. But he doesn't. He stays on the stairs, he comes at me with a katana, and I get a nice cancelled backstab on him. But it doesn't matter, because I'm not here to play fair, I'm here to destroy. You get another cancelled backstab as he goes for me, and then he tries to do the wake up flamberge stuff. I don't risk the backstab because he'll probably kill me with the flamberge, and he goes back to the stairs. What a bitch. So I throw the kitchen sink at him, along with everything else, and he doesn't know that fire burns, so we get a little bit lucky. Poke him a few times, he falls down, he dies. It's just like, really, bro? What the fuck are you doing? And now we know what he was doing. he was doing a pretty piss poor job of fighting invaders. So he recognises my name, I recognise his name, and he goes back to his stairs. Look at this pro. What a champion. So I start throwing pyromancies immediately, and I backstab him with poise. And I'm going to chain him because he's a bitch. But I missed the chain because this connection is different to the ones that I've been getting so much. And he starts flasking, so I start spamming combustion. And I spam combustion, I spam combustion. I'm practically that dude out of Batman Returns that gets owned by the Batmobile. That's me. Hit him with another backstab and chain the backstab. That is about as cheap as you can be in the forest. And that guy doesn't really like it, so I need to stop the fucking nagstab you pose. Which, to me, is perfect English. So I respond with a very similar message to the other one I did. And that's the end of the video, guys. Go with God, my child.